Today I've put on the MRG and with the thin red line, and I need to go outside, and I thought I would show you guys what I've chosen to wear, and it might be a little too wet actually, and I just want to see what's going on here. Yeah. Okay, it might be a. Let's get the MRG in focus there. Look at that. It is raining heavier than I was expecting, so I don't know how long I'm going to be out here, but we should be okay. But what I will do is go down this. I'll find somewhere that I can video a little more. I will do that now. So I was looking for somewhere to chat, and there you go, the MRG once again. I was going to start off by saying this is what I'm doing, and I chose to wear the MRG today, and it is quite interesting that I keep putting MRGs on. Actually, I've just realised I need to turn the camera. Hold on. So let's see if I can make this work. So I was going to talk about or explain or simply show you why I put on the MRGs, because when I say MRG, I mean G-Shock. But the MRG is something that I've been gravitating towards recently, and this morning I saw that Casio G-Shock planned to release a new G-Shock titanium, a dark version of this on a rubber strap, and it looks very cool. I'll just turn the camera around. I realised that it's raining a little more than I realised, and it is quite cold here, and I was hoping to get my G-Shock in. I need my other hand. Hold on. So maybe this will work, but there you go. It's the G-Shock Square, but it's the thin red line silver MRG-B5000D. Which denotes D? Yes, which denotes it's silver. But I keep gravitating towards this watch and the square, and I thought it's worth talking about why I do that. But the lake is behind me, so let me spin the camera around. So I was thinking of doing a walk and talk, basically showing you the G-Shock, and I've got the lake in the background. The only thing is, it's lovely here, but it's raining, and so I'm going to have to watch that. And I don't know if the watch is coming through, but I keep gravitating towards Casio G-Shocks, and I thought, why don't I talk about that? But right now I've got the weather, the weather and the rain on my mind. So maybe I will. I'm more bothered about the rain. But in fact, why don't I just try? So I'll turn the camera around and let's give it a whirl. And I've also realised that I'm going to have to hold the camera in this direction. I do apologise for looking a mess, but I'm soaked through. But it's very nice here, actually. I'm soaked through and a runny nose. Okay, so let's try and chat about G-Shock and why I wear them, and because it's cold as well, I have to keep swapping the camera. It's freezing. Anyway, and I was thinking the other day, I keep wearing, I keep putting on my G-Shocks, and I think all the G-Shocks I have at the moment, that they're all the full metal type, and essentially I have the steel models and the MRG models. And you know, I look at myself and I think, what am I doing? I keep I keep wearing Casio G-Shock squares, these digital things. And I thought there are so many other watches out there that I like. I was going to say other digital watches. For example, I like the Apple Watch, and I don't really wear the Apple Watch much, and I find myself not gravitating towards it either. And also mechanical watches. I really like mechanical chronographs, and I find myself, not gravitating towards those either. It's I keep putting on the Casio squares. Now, the other crazy thing is this design is actually 40 years old. This Casio G-Shock square was initially released, released in 1983. So it's literally 40 years. The design is 40 years old. And this today is so close to that original design. In fact, if you held this against the original design, that of course was resin, there's barely, there is a little bit of difference, but on first sight, you don't really see the difference. So I do find that very interesting. And at the same time, I have an Omega Speedmaster Mark II, and that design is actually 50 years old. So I was thinking to myself, hold on, it might be my age, and I might be in a time warp, and I might be stuck at a watch design that's literally decades years old. And I thought, well, if that's the case, I suppose, I'll fly with that. That's okay. But look at that. I imagine that many people say that's not too modern, because perhaps the Apple Watch and some other digital watches are more modern. But then maybe people wouldn't say that. Maybe they would think that is modern. But there is something that something pleasing about the way it looks. But I think also there is an element of functional usability from this watch, because the other day I drove across the UK, and then I drove across France, and I actually used this to time the journey. That's a really bad example. Okay, so a better example is I use the squares that I have to cook with, because they have an alarm feature, so you can put several alarms on it. There is a stopwatch and a timer. So for example, if I'm putting something into the oven and it takes 30 minutes to heat through, I can use the timer. Or I might be timing something and then also cooking something. So if I'm timing something cooking that I know takes only 30 minutes, I might use the alarm for that. And then something else that I'm cooking might be 10 minutes or 20 minutes, and I'll use a stopwatch for that. So often I'm wearing a G-Shock as I'm cooking, and I've got the meat on one thing, and so I do use the functions of the squares to cook. I use also the stopwatch when I go running. Now, when I go running, I find that I, in particular, put the titanium MRGs on because they're a little lighter. Actually, I say that, but the other day I did go running with the B5000D, the B5000GD, the black one with the positive display, and that's stainless steel, and I ran fine with that. So I was thinking, actually, that's not totally correct, because I do use I do use the full metals on the bracelet to go running with anyway. So I use these for running, for cooking, driving the car, telling the time. I mean, that's novel, telling the time with your wristwatch, but I certainly do. And I was thinking to myself, you know, what in my mind is taking place that makes me gravitate towards the G-Shock. And the one other thing that I find very useful is when I pick the G-Shock up, the time is automatically correct because it's Bluetooth enabled and also multiband 6. So if the Bluetooth connection isn't available, it will have picked up the correct time with the time signal in Europe and North America. So the fact that I don't have to set the time, I know the time will be accurate. That is helpful. And also when you go across time zones, when the watch connects to the app on your phone, it will have picked up the correct time zone that you're in. So I don't need to do anything. So I was thinking that could be one of the most, or could have been one of the subconscious decision makers for me. And one of the main reasons why I pick up one of the G-Shock squares, because it's actually more to do with its function and the fact that I like the way it looks also. And those two things combined make me gravitate towards putting on the G-Shock and that being my choice over, for example, a mechanical watch or another watch that might need to be set. Anyway, it's raining and I'm thinking, oh my goodness, this video probably isn't the best. But anyway, I wanted to show you the titanium MRG in the rain, and I wanted to explain why I wear it. And also I think it's cool, and in the summer this matches my grey t-shirt and my black t-shirts and my grey jeans really well, and I think I like it. I think I just like the way it looks. Anyway, it's raining, it's cold, I can barely think of anything further to say apart from the MRG square is totally cool. Today Casio announced that they are releasing an MRG square on a rubber bracelet, and I've already looked at it and I think it's absolutely fantastic, and all I can do is think about the damage to the bank account. Anyway, I suppose this is what makes G-Shocks and this hobby really cool. It is quite strange actually. I keep feeling that I need to explain the psychology of why today people want to take an interest in wristwatches and why we wear them. And all I can think of today is, number one, I cook with them. I time things with them, and even things that don't need timing, I still want to time them. And I think it looks cool, which means that it really might not look cool, but I still choose to do it. Anyway, there you go. Hope everyone is well, and bye from me in the south of France in the rain.